4 eerie, real-life ghost stories that will make you believe. Tales of spooky visitors from beyond the grave are abound throughout different cultures. Although these stories can't always be proven by science, neither can they be easily debunked. In this video, we feature 4 eerie ghost stories that will make you believe in the idea that these paranormal beings might really exist. The Shadow Friend. This is a creepy story from one Redditor who recalled seeing something terrifying from a nanny cam. According to the forum poster, he was babysitting his niece at his brother's place. They put up a baby camera to make it easier to monitor the baby while he was studying in the other room. He was starting to doze off when he heard some weird whisperings coming from the monitor. The Redditor initially thought it was just some live feedback, but upon closer inspection at the TV, he saw what he described to be a dark shadow hovering near the baby's crib. He ran into the nursery room to check, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. He grabbed the child and brought it with him. Meanwhile, the shadow was nowhere to be seen in the monitor. When the Redditor told his brother revealed to him too that he had seen a weird apparition and heard the same whispering. He wanted him not to mention the incident to the mother, as she would probably freak out. Years passed when the niece had started speaking. She would often mention her special friend who would speak to her at night before she went to sleep. Grandma Ghost saves Grandpa. It's easy to think of ghosts as entities whose sole purpose of existence is to scare the crap out of all of us. But this story from another Redditor proves this notion wrong. The forum poster talks about a story that his grandfather once told him about the time when he was on the front porch of their house sitting in a chair. The old man said he had heard someone calling him from inside the house, and much to his curiosity, the voice seemed to sound like his wife. The truth is, his wife was already long dead before the incident took place. According to the Redditor, the old man seemed to be disturbed and at the same time drawn by the call that he actually went inside the house. Not long after he got up from his seat, he heard a loud crash behind him. It made him turn back and see the cast iron gutter from the roof had crushed the very chair he had been sitting in moments ago. Regardless of how you see this story, the Redditor's grandfather would definitely have been injured, if not killed, had he not heard the voice calling him from inside the home. The boy with no eyes. Some ghosts just want to stick around for good. According to this story, he was still 10 years old when he first met a boy with no eyes. The entity sat on his bed and tried to play with him, but when he blinked, the boy was already gone. Years have passed and the man's girlfriend once decided to stay at his place for a while to take a nap. Moments later, when her folks arrived to fetch her, the girlfriend told the man that she was about to fully wake up. She saw a little boy with no eyes perching at the ceiling and staring at her. He told her about the first time he encountered the eyeless boy, and they both freaked out. Few years had gone by. The man and the girlfriend already had a 2-year-old daughter. They were living in his parents' house and, quite interestingly, put their child in the very same room where he encountered the eyeless boy. According to the man, the daughter began waking up at night, where she appeared to be talking to someone. When they asked the child, she told them about a nice little boy who had no eyes. Their nightly conversations went on until the family moved out. The Haunted Apartment. The story of this man takes place in an apartment in Melbourne, Australia. The block had been around since the 1930s, and suffice it to say, it's already quite old. For a few months after he had settled in, he began to experience paranormal disturbances. At one time, the wooden board that covered a hole in the ceiling was broken into pieces. When he asked the landlord, he was told the same thing happened to previous tenants. He was promised that the board would be replaced. Months had passed. The man began waking up with intense goosebumps, as if someone had been rubbing his or her hands on his body. In one instance, he heard a dragging sound coming from the attic. The sound came to a halt at the hole of the ceiling, and much to his shock, the new board was broken in two. He then began hearing whispers from the attic. They sounded like children's voices, and they said something like, "It's your turn. It's your turn." The man went to his living room, turned on every light and the TV. Then the fuse blew. In total darkness, he heard his pet squealing in the kitchen. He ran outside to his car and stayed there until the sun went up. He stayed in the apartment for more than a year and moved out. The landlord once called him in on behalf of the new tenants who wanted to know about the creepy things happening in the apartment. He declined, as he doesn't want to relive the traumatic experience in his head once again. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.